Hey everyone, welcome back to I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills. I'm Slim.
And I am Black, aka the Raging Bull X.
Chris, how y'all doing?
Hey. All right, and we are back. Me and the fellas are back together again for another one. And we are coming up on the end of this season, man. It has been a very wild season, but the season finale, y'all know, is usually, like I said, we do around Halloween time. So y'all know we're coming up with on that seasoning, that seasoning. Oh, seasoning. That's funny, right? I must be hungry. um, we're coming
I
up
know
on the
I
season finale,
am.
everybody. So it's a very strong season. I'm really happy about it. We moved forward closer to having a video episode. So on the next season, I can't wait. We're gonna end up getting some video episodes. I got to do some wiring in my house still, so that's all good though. Fellas, what's going on? What y'all been up to? I'll start with Black. Black, what you been up to?
Yeah, man, I just been I've been taking care of the Doom Slayer, playing Doom the Dark Ages, and really just becoming extremely addicted to that game. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just the carnage and the gore and what he actually does, the Doom Slayer does to these demons, man. It's like I'm like, man, I'm hooked, so that's what I'm doing right now. That's the game I'm into.
Word, word, word. Yeah. Well, what about you, Chris? What you been up to?
Oh, I was loving that game. But, yeah, lately I've mostly been messing around with I've been kinda hate playing Blueprints.
Blueprints. I don't think I've heard of
Yeah.
that game. What's that game about?
It's matter of fact, it's kind of a play on words because it's called Blueprints, as in blue that dude,
Uh,
but
yeah.
the story is or basically what you're doing is you're setting down the blueprints of a house, and you're basically kinda building it, but all the rooms are like pieces of a puzzle. And so it's like you're kinda putting all this stuff together and trying to figure out, and you're
Oh, is that a
basically
mobile
trying to
game?
get to like a center to like this one room that's way up in the center of the, building, but it's actually it's one of those kind of misleading stories. I mean, yeah, and where not quite it's nowhere near exactly what it seems, and that's kind of the hook of the game where, yeah, you're basically trying to dig deeper and deeper off into this mystery, but, I needed something chill after going on my murder sprees and stuff in the Dishonored game, so I figured I'd matter of fact, even my last playthrough with Dishonored was a non-lethal playthrough where I didn't kill anybody, which it was it was nice. But, other than that though, yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing lately.
Yeah, and that's like I said, like I thought it was a mobile game. Is it? No, it was actually on the system. It was
Yeah,
on.
matter of fact, I think it's on everything, but it's definitely on, matter of fact, because 'cause I'm playing it through Game Pass, so
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, I've never heard of it, but the reason why I thought it was like on mobile is because I'd recently been seeing something about blueprints and putting down a house and all this stuff like that. You know, like laying it down and
mm.
actually building the blueprint of a house. So that's a mobile game I've been seeing recently. So that's cool. Well, as far as for me, I've been, of course, still been playing BG3 with Pug lately. Um, however, in light of our topic today, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later, I'm going to actually start playing the game that we're gonna be talking about later. So we'll actually see because I started it, didn't finish. I think we only played like an hour or two or something like that, and then I was like, okay, it just sat on my Xbox for the longest time, taking up space, so I just got rid of it, and I got to go back and play it. So, uh, but before we get into today's topic, let me talk a little bit about Atlantic Con because I went to that, and like I said, I wanted to talk to you fellas about it because trust me, if y'all had went, y'all would have loved it. It was small. It was small. It was only about a ballroom size, maybe two-thirds of a ballroom size in the convention hall. Um, however, for it being so small, it was dope because I mean, it was one of those kind of like forced bias type things, right? And even though it was primarily black centric, which was cool, you saw all kind of people there in cosplay and all kind of people just enjoying themselves, and it was so cool. And of course, because it was one of our cons, I went ahead and went in as Shonuff, of course. Dude, I came out as soon as I threw my costume on. Not long after I got the wig on and got everything straight, I just started walking away from the bathroom where I changed at, and somebody was like, "Oh man, I gotta take a picture with you." All right, cool. We got a picture. Dude, I came around the corner back over to the table, and it wasn't far. It was probably about 50 feet, maybe at the most, not even 50, maybe a little bit less. Um, but I went 50 feet away from the bathroom. As soon as I get ready to start passing the table, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's the show! It's showing up. The show got to Harlan." That was cool. And then so somebody had to take my picture for that, and that was cool. Dude, I walk into the doors of the con, and people just start like lighting up. I did not realize. So I did, but I didn't realize how much people loved that character.
Yep.
And that, I mean, that because that movie is such a cult classic and is so awesome. And I don't even know what made me actually get that costume for Halloween one year. I mean, like, I did it for that job that we used to work at, Chris, which was ended up being rigged because I didn't win that year, which was hilarious. Like, how do I
Yeah.
not win with that costume? But we
Yeah.
know why I didn't win.
Oh,
But
exactly.
anyway, I think I forgot who I lost. I mean, I forgot what the costume the person was wearing that I lost to. But I mean, I remember who I lost to because he was, their favorite person. But I forgot what the costume was that I lost. And anyway, I'm gonna have to go back and look. Maybe I think I got the picture somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, uh, yeah, man, I like people were shouting it across the room and everything. And I was that close to seeing about the costume contest, but by the time I started thinking about joining the costume contest, I didn't know how to sign up, and and uh like I read the rules afterwards, and I probably wouldn't have been able to win anyway because I didn't make 80% of the costume myself, which that means I have to go ahead and do a little bit more. I did do a lot of the accessories myself, but the actual top and bottom I did not. So, I'm gonna work on some of this stuff, and I'm gonna probably like make some stuff better on the top and bottom a little bit. I don't know, but I'm going to try so I can actually enter a costume contest next time, and hopefully next AtlanticCon I can actually go. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this part of it is because if we go, y'all have the option of dressing like the soldiers that come in with showing up. So just in case y'all want to go, I'm trying to get some people with me that can actually come in and be the soldiers that come in, and really, I think it's like I forgot what their costumes look like. I know they had like some people had some tiger print, some people had
Yeah.
like some military stuff on and stuff like that. So what do you say, Black?
No, no, I was
Black,
gonna say that. Yeah, I'll be beast. I'll be beast.
yeah.
Man, if you walk in there with your hands in your hips, if you just walked in there with your hands in your hips and kicked in that door and just looked around and went, "Leroy," you could have made some people wet themselves.
Well, and see, that's why because of how it was, this year, that's what makes me want to go more into it, and I'm gonna have the cape and all that, just like the movie theater scene. That's what I'm trying to recreate. So I'm gonna need some more people to come in before me and just basically announce the Shogun
Man,
of Harlem, so I can walk in. That would be so dope.
man, man. The movie theater scene was too funny. Beast. Who
Yes,
said
right.
that? I got him. Show. I
Yes.
got him. I got him. Show.
So yeah, for real, for real. So I know people would love that. But I mean, honestly, the con was so dope. I ended up getting this. I picked it up. It's for those who can't see right now. This is an audio episode. So for those who can't see, this is a drawing that an artist made of showing up with a skateboard, in the same costume I was wearing, and it was so dope because like they were across the room, and I was like taking a picture of somebody. I was like, hey, look, 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 and they were showing me that, and I was like, oh, that is dope. So I went and I took a picture with them, and then a lady, she wanted to take a picture with me, and I'm like, "Oh, man, I wanted to buy one of these. Let me get one of these." She's like, "All right, cool, thanks." And then I'm getting one, and the lady was like, "Oh, no, no, that's mine." She's like, "You gotta get your own." I was like so I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool, cool." So that was cool. But then, I was walking around, and 2 comics, stopped me. So there's this one, the first one I saw, I was passing by, and I saw this one called, Ori, and I might be saying it incorrectly. It could be, Ori or Hori, Holder of the Heads, this one, alright? And, the way the story was described to me was, you know, this dude's ancestors, his ancestors come back as a farm boy, and his ancestors come back and just basically start beef with him and saying you're not living your life right. Now I'm messing up the paraphrasing a lot, because I like this one. I think I'm gonna start this one, or it might be this one or the next one. But anyway, he basically said, like, the ancestors were unhappy with him, and so they're basically coming back and they're starting to tear up a whole bunch of stuff. So that caught my attention. So I bought this one, and then this one stopped me in my tracks. I passed by, and there was this picture of this character on the front with the afro. He had a shadow coming out from beside him, and the way it looked was just it was so raw. I was like, "Yo, what is this?" So I stopped by the table, and the dude explained it to me, and all these dudes are cousins with superpowers. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, yo, I got to get a copy of that." And I was that close. I almost bought the whole series, but he said it's continuing series. So I'm like, okay. I was like, let me get this first volume. And I was like, if I'm hooked, I'm hooked, and I'm gonna buy the rest of the series. Just like with the Tuskegee Heirs. Everyone that comes out that's a whole graphic novel, I'm gonna buy it. Because that's so right now I they got me with the last one, because the last one they only gave me one issue, and I'm kind of upset about that because I wanted the whole like volume. But anyway, it's all good. I still love the issue. But um, yeah, same with that. If I'm into these, I'm gonna go ahead and buy them all, because yeah, it is really dope. And honestly, if it is, I'm gonna tell y'all about it so y'all can check it out too. So, but anyway, Atlanticon was dope. Y'all definitely have got to go. Like next year, it should be around the same time, somewhere around August. Y'all definitely got to go if you can. Oh. All right. So I want to go ahead and segue into it. I don't have like any kind of good segue here. I want to segue into today's topic. The funniest part about today's topic is this, and I'm about to let the dude explain it. So I'm at work one night, one of the rare nights of the year. It's like, I think twice, no, 4 times a year I have to work at night, because my job is normally a daytime job, but I have to work at night, right? And I get a phone call from Black. And I'm like, "Oh, man, this has gotta be serious," because Black is calling me. I was like, usually he texts me first or whatever. So then I get a phone call. So I run out, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yo, you working?" He's like, "All right, I'll call you back." I'm like, "No, no, no. What's up? What's going on?" He had to tell me about these fanboys who got him so riled up and brought out the Raging Bull X. So, Black, please tell everyone about what's going on so we can actually talk about today's topic, because those fanboys got you hot. And I was like, what? I was like, all right, cool. That's definitely going to be our next episode. So I was like, send me the details so I won't forget it. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get this show straight up, done up. So Black, go ahead and give me the info about this our today's topic.
Okay, so here's the short of it. So I joined the Starfield community. I love the game so much, so I joined the Starfield community. And in that community, they were talking about the new updates that Bethesda is doing, which is the developer of Starfield. Uh, that they're doing to Starfield, and everybody's commenting on it, everybody's excited. All of a sudden, we started getting these random folks coming in the community, Starfield community, talking about some, oh man, uh, 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 No Man's Sky is way better, and this and that and this and that. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, am I missing something? I am in the right community. I had to log out of Facebook and log back in just to make sure I was in the right community. Because last time I checked, it was said Starfield community. So I said, I said, okay, well, what exactly are you going on about? So they talk about so we can land on planets. We ain't gotta look at a loading screen. I'm like, okay, so you talking more about a simulator? It's not a simulator. It's a game and it's better than Starfield. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't play Starfield so I can land a ship. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to cuss. So
That's okay. I'll bleep
beat me
it.
out.
I'll bleep it out.
Leave it out. But I don't play Starfield so I can land a ship. I play Starfield so I can mess up the Crimson Fleet, build my ship, and just kind of like enjoy the game, explore, different systems and stuff like that. They're like, oh, well, it's the same old ticky tack stuff as Starfield. Uh, good luck enjoying this and that and this and that while I'm enjoying No Man's Sky. And I'm like, dude, if you like No Man's Sky so much, how come you're not playing it? Why are you on a whole different gaming community with your pom poms and your short dress? You know what I'm saying? And your weave, chilling for No Man's Sky. Why are you doing that? You know. So that's where it led to, and and like Slim said, it riled me up so much I had to call him. I'm like, hey, we got to talk about this. We got to get this shit out the way. We got. There I go again. See that y'all
It's
can
all
tell
good.
how I'm riled up.
You see,
But
like I said, the
again, we got
Raging
to
Bull
talk
X
about
has come
this.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
we got to
yeah,
get this out of the way. So I called Slim. I said, man, we got to talk about this.
for sure, for sure. And it was like I said, I could tell he was heated because honestly, like for real, why are you going to be a hater? You're going to come into a different type of community just to hate on it. And this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about different fan and different fandoms ruining something for people. It's like, you know, it's almost like a Star Trek fan talking junk about Star Wars in the Star Wars community, which is basically the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you going
Exactly.
to do that? Why? What's the purpose? You wasted your time instead of going to watch some Star Trek something. You could just be go ahead and doing something. You're in here talking this junk, and instead of doing that, and it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, you know. So because of that, like Black said, he said we got to talk about it, and I agreed because I've played both, but I've only played No Man's Sky for, like I said, about 45 minutes an hour. It's not that long. It's kind of short. But Chris has extensive play time with it. Black and I have extensive play time with Starfield. Chris only has a little bit of play time with Starfield. So we're kind of balanced here a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I have
Um,
no I have no playtime with Starfield. I
okay, there
want
you
to
go.
get into Starfield.
Yeah, okay. I thought you had a little bit. I thought you only like played like just a little bit, basically about the same amount of time I played with No Man's Sky.
No, I played No Man now. I played a decent amount of No Man's Sky, but
No, I was talking about
I have
Starfield. I thought your Starfield time was about the same amount of time I had in No Man's Sky, which is about like like an hour or so. But I mean, not enough to say you really played the game and got into it. So,
no, not in
uh,
Starfield. I never got a chance to fire up. I had it on my Xbox until I needed the space, and I
took it
wanted
off.
to get back into it, but then by that time I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait and get. I was thinking about getting the PC version, and so that's still kind of where I'm at. I don't think I'm
Hmm.
gonna end up getting back into it on Xbox, but yeah, but yeah, No Man's Sky though I've definitely played. I've spent a few hours in.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. So, um, we're gonna start off, kind of talking about the two different styles of the game. So, I know Starfield is kind of an exploration type game, and they're both exploration type game. No Man's Sky is built more of a sandbox. Starfield is built more of a linear story, even though it has a whole bunch of offshoots. You got so many different offshoots, and then they're still downloading content and different things. You know, it's almost like they took GTA 5 and they split it apart, and that's what Starfield and No Man's Sky is. And that's one of the best explanations I could use for anyone who is a gamer. Um, because you still have that story with all the other different things that you can do in Starfield, but with No Man's Sky, you got that whole sandbox thing of everything you can do with the GTA Online style side of it. Uh, so starting off, we're gonna go ahead and start with Black. Black, give us a little bit about Starfield and kind of like the whole exploration of it and everything like that. Like just give us a quick rundown about the planets and everything um that kind of encompasses Starfield. The whole real quick rundown of it.
Yeah, just a quick rundown. Yeah, so Starfield is like what Slim said. It's more story driven. Uh, I would say that in comparison to No Man's Sky is the stories and the side quests. You get a lot of that stuff. That's the Bethesda special sauce. That's what they do.
Hmm.
So in my opinion, it's more quest based with a little bit of exploration. Where No Man's Sky is just way more exploration. I like that, and I like the combat in Starfield. So when I first started Starfield, when it first came out, there's a lot of things that people knock the game about. There's a lot of if you go exploring, you may run into the same type of facility. You may do this, you may do that, and it gets quite repetitive when it first came out. But as the game progressed, there's a lot of stuff they added to you. At first, you didn't have a buggy. You got a buggy now. Now you got buggy mods. Like I've got like 2 or 3 buggies
Oh,
that I
wow.
can go jump in and just go and explore. You have a lot of different stuff now, and that's another thing that kind of frustrates me about the comparison because No Man's Sky came out in what 2017, if I'm not
Yeah, it
mistaken.
it's it was a
It was
while
a
ago. What do you
long
say,
time
Chris?
ago.
Chris, do you know
Uh,
about when? I'll look it up,
I'm
but go
not
ahead,
sure.
keep going,
Yeah,
Black. I'll go
I'm not
look it up.
exactly sure. Matter of fact, and I had it pulled up, but it
Yeah, I'm looking on the sheet. I have notes on it, so that's why I'm looking to see when the date is. But go ahead, keep going, Black.
Yeah, yeah. So to
2016.
to get to yeah, yeah, okay. So I was even a year off. It actually
Mhm.
came out earlier than that.
Yep,
So
August 9th,
Yeah.
2016.
when it first
Wow.
came out, the game was considered not that good because it promised so many things, but it didn't deliver. But
Mhm.
throughout the years, it got better. And my what I get so a little annoyed about is because they haven't given Starfield a chance to get better. They're already comparing it to a game that came out in 2016 that had all this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to get better, and Starfield's only been out 2 years. So
Yeah.
I got a problem with that because I'm like, well, Starfield is getting better. I mean, and just I mean the combat mods, the everything you do. I must have modded my weapons. I don't know how many times. I've
Mhm.
downloaded so many, and some DLC. You pay for like you pay for uh the Shattered Space DLC, and some mods you pay for. But in my opinion, you should pay for really really good mods because those guys work hard you know. And I paid for at least about what 10, 11 mods. Some was like $2, $3, some was like $15. But
Wow.
the game itself is just evolving. It's enhancing, and I'm happy to say that the game is like way better than it was 2 years ago. And
Mhm.
modders are starting to pay more attention to it because they're like, okay, well, you got this big open world game with multiple systems and moons that you can land on and you can put DLC on and all that other good stuff. And it's just I mean the potential in that game is ridiculous, you know? So
Yeah.
that's really what my opinion is as far as that. I think it's a great game, you know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I loved playing it every minute that I played. It was crazy. It was like I told y'all before, you can start early and it'll keep you locked down till the dark. So, Chris, No Man's Sky. Give me a quick rundown about No Man's Sky, please. Generally the planets and the overall gameplay and everything. Quick rundown.
Yeah, with that one, you basically it's more of a sandbox where it randomly generates a planet, and then certain elements, and things of the planet, and there's just, I guess, kinda, I don't know about an infinite amount to explore and whatnot, but yeah, just it's more for if you're more into, yeah, just kinda wanna matter of fact, because the way that they've got it set up now, they've actually got it set up so that you can either go in kinda raw from the beginning and just from scratch and repair your ship and get in and start to explore. To they've also got though like just a sandbox kind of mode now where you can just come in and just pick like parts and automatically have ships and stuff already ready and available. But
Hmm.
it's definitely a different type of gameplay per se than what you than what you get in Starfield. And it's definitely more of a kind of a choose your own or make your own adventure type of
Hmm.
deal as opposed to, you following a certain story. But yeah, certain elements I like about both of those. I certainly hope that was 12-year-olds coming in there starting that mess and not 40-year-olds, but something tells me that was 40-year-olds.
It was 40 years. It was 40
Yeah,
years. It
most
was
likely. It
35
was probably
years,
was.
40 years, 20
Yeah.
years. So, just
Um.
saying.
So so it's in my notes here. I basically did a little bit of research, and it's saying Starfield has about 1,000 planets, but all the planets have like very rich curated stories behind them. So they have like different things on different all these planets for a different reason, and they're very vast. You can explore. No Man's Sky has infinite planets with seamless travel. So which one would if I mean, of course, now this being said, we're not talking about one is better than the other. We're just saying we do have preference. So in your preference, would you prefer to have a small amount of planets, but they look like really dope and they've got stories on them? You know what I'm saying? You're running into the aliens and the different cultures there, the different types of species and all everything, or would you have an infinite amount of planets, but they're not as detailed? Which one would you prefer?
Yeah, I'm like, just with me, just because of the way I like to play,
Hmm.
I think I would end up. I like the exploration and having the option of having all the optional planets in No Man's Sky and things. But
Hmm.
the thing about it though, if, I mean, in with my play style and the way that I normally play games, I would probably end up spending more time in Starfield than I would in No Man's Sky, just because of the way that I tend to play games. And what I mean by that is like when I've got all those options, when I've got like kind of I wouldn't say necessarily a guided gameplay, but just something where I've got less options. I'm more likely to explore that area and all the little nooks and crannies and things that I like to
Hmm.
do, as opposed to kind of the way that I play No Man's Sky now, which is kind of sporadically. I don't actually just I haven't been back in it in a while, even though I've been aching to get back into it. But I do like the option that I can just jump into it and play it kind of anyway. I like the options of No Man's Sky, but I would probably spend more time playing Starfield just because that's the type of game that I kind of spend more time in, and with it having certain goals that I can actually work my way over to.
Hmm.
As far as like having a story and trying to find out the nuances of that story, yeah, I would probably end up spending more time in that.
Okay. Okay.
Not to mention, I like the mod scene in that,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed watching the hell out of my son. I've just sat back and for a while and just like for a
Exactly.
couple of hours and watched my son play Starfield just because of all the mods. And I mean, he practically turned it into the Mandalorian.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Razor Crest included. Razor
Yeah,
Crest included.
yeah. Black. I know your answer, but let's go ahead and get it for the rest of the people. Would you rather have the rich curated planets, or would you have multiple planets, not as detailed, but still so much to explore?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that by first saying that I actually went out of my way to watch a video of how they actually land on a planet in No Man's Sky. I thought it was pretty
Hmm.
neat. I thought it was cool and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then I looked for the combat, and the combat was not, not my thing. So I would want. I'm a very story driven type of person. I need if I go and explore. and let's just say there's no real reason why I'm exploring this particular moon or this particular planet. But
Mhm.
let's just say I'm just going to explore just to explore, and
Mhm.
I happen to get a beacon. I get a beacon on my ship saying, it's a SOS for help. I don't know. I've never been to this planet before, but somebody needs help, and
Mhm.
now I'm going to the planet to see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
That's the type of player I am. You know, I, I,
Right.
it, I, I like to explore, but give me something, some reason to explore. You know?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
same things I liked about Mass Effect, I could see liking about Starfield
Yes,
because
sir.
of the objectives and you having the options. Although you do have the options, to get yourself out, but and I think they do have some slightly more curated experiences in Starfield now as opposed not Starfield, in No Man's Sky now, because I know they do have, like, some horror events and different things like that as far as elements go, but it is, I think, a less focused and less story focused like it is in Starfield, and like I said, as much time as I spent in Mass Effect, yeah, I could
Mhm.
see myself spending a lot of time in
Starfield.
like, I finished Mass Effect multiple times before, let's see, something a little bit more open like GTA 4 or 5, whichever was out at the time, probably 4.
Mhm.
And as much time as I spent in it, well, I take it back because it was with those games, I tend because there's an open world and so much to do, I will spend less time. I will go back on a whim whenever my mood is in it. Whereas opposed to something with a storyline, yeah, I'm going in there and I'm gonna try to get to what's gonna happen next.
Mm.
I think it's the
Mhm.
story element kinda, yeah, that really attracts me as far as that goes.
Yeah. For me, I want to say I'm more story driven. However, I'm the same person that's been on GTA 5 for years since it come out. And actually, I mean, I did take that break, but basically, I've played GTA 5 and done the same mission over and over again just so I could make the money. So,
See, it took me about
uh,
5 years to complete the storyline in GTA 5, although
oh
I
no,
loved every second of it.
I
But I
did it. I
love the
did it in
fact
a
that I
couple
could
of
just go to it
weeks.
and pop in when the mood hit me, and usually the mood was just for me to drive around causing chaos, listening to music.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, no, I didn't do that. No, I finished the story in weeks, and then the multiplayer. I forgot what got me on the multiplayer. It might have been my daughter, but once I got on the multiplayer, I was stuck for a very long time for a couple of years. Basically, like once we moved in here. Actually, I think it was even before we moved is when I started playing GTA 5 again. But anyway, for me, yeah, definitely Starfield, but I'm looking forward to actually playing No Man's Sky again. Like I said, I'm gonna be start playing it so I can actually kind of give more of a full update on it. And I think what I'll do is after I play it a couple of times and I get into it more, I'm gonna give my update in one of our next video episode. So I give it a little short video episode, another 20-30 minute episode somewhere in between um this and our season finale, which is coming up shortly. So I'll probably
Another
end up
thing
doing
though,
that. I
real
might do
quick
a
that
live episode.
oh,
What?
sorry. Another thing though that I do really like about No Man's Sky though is that I can play it in VR, and I've
Uh-huh.
only played it in VR.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Matter of fact, yeah, every time I played it, yeah, the first thing I do is yeah, grab the headset and
Mm-hmm.
fire it up in the air because that the thing that I do love being like
Does
the
does
immersiveness
Starfield
of
have the
that
option?
and being in the
Does
I don't
Starfield
think
have
so.
the option for VR?
I'm not sure, but there'll probably be somebody's probably got a mod out for it. But I'm not sure. But yeah, you can definitely yeah, I'm not sure about Starfield, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, No Man's Sky definitely.
So I'm gonna go definitely try to play it, and I'm gonna try and kind of give an update on what I think about it. But I'm gonna get some time before I give that update. So be on the lookout for that. Look out for it. But like I said, I'm gonna probably try to do it. I might actually do a live episode for that one. I don't know. Um, so and I will let anyone know. I'll let y'all know. I'll try to announce when I'm actually going to do that live episode, so people can actually join in and kind of view and get their opinions and everything. We kind of touched on actually all these points that I actually had. We kind of did that in in all of these. So Black, overall, Starfield, I get it, and I understand that's one of your things, and I just remember now too what I was saying. Um,
Yeah,
Overall, yeah. So, like, what was it you were the main part of what you were saying because of the fanboys jumping in? Like, what was the whole aspect of the conversation? Were they just picking just to be picking? Were they being trolls?
well, they were there because Bethesda, they put out these updates and they're saying they'll throw out and say, well, Starfield's getting this type of update or Starfield getting that type of update. And so they see that and they chime in and say, oh, well, guess what? No Man's Sky just got an update and guess what? It was for free and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to be a broke fanboy, go ahead. I don't care. Do you? But I believe in paying for what's. I'm not saying go buy some BS mod or something like that or
Mhm.
DLC. I'm saying that if it's worth it, then I'll pay. But
I'm
they're
a
coming
firm
to claim
believer.
like, oh, yeah. Go ahead,
No,
Slim.
sorry. I'm a firm believer in you get what you pay for. So
Yes, sir.
sometimes
Yes, sir.
sometimes you actually have to pay money to get something good.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
yes.
getting like a hookup here and there is not what and like getting free stuff isn't always good either.
Nah, in their defense, the free stuff that's come out for No Man's Sky has been great.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay,
not knocking.
okay. Yeah.
I'm not knocking
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But
I'm
they had
just
to
saying
kinda
what
make
what
good
they were
they had to
saying.
make good after that launch though.
Yeah.
See, there you go, and senior. That's exactly where I was going. I'm like, don't you think it should be free? If your game's been out since 2016 and
Yeah,
you ain't
yeah,
made good
yeah.
on your damn,
I
shouldn't it
mean
be free?
well, as a testament to how good it is though, and keep in mind, like I said, I probably would yeah, what you call it seems more like my game, but at the same time though, yeah, No Man's Sky is like, I mean, as far as like the way it's yeah, as far as like what they put out, it's been pretty good since they got it straight. And yeah, and as far as like the amount of stuff that they put out and yeah, done with it, it's kind of like gone along with just the expansion of the game. But there's a reason why I bought it more than why I bought it twice.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I want to be clear. I'm not knocking the game.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
really knocking the fanboys.
Mm.
You know,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
really knocking them.
you sh-
You know what I'm
and you
saying? I'm
should
not
knock the
knocking the game.
fanboys. Every
Be,
God, they're annoying.
because because if I'm a person, let's just say I'm a person that's curious about Starfield. I joined the community. Then all of a sudden you got all this negative stuff. You're harming other people's chance to enjoy the game. You know,
Mhm.
so why do that? I mean, I'm
Exactly.
not a spokesperson for Bethesda or anything like that. I'm just saying, as a person who generally loves the game, why would you do
Mhm.
that?
It's just there's just who want to be.
You know, you know. So
Yeah, yeah,
so
honestly.
I've tried. They almost got me to be. I was making them feel so dumb in their arguments that I mean, I got these long threads of comments. You know, because I was killing them, and all the Starfield people was just laughing at them and poking fun at them, and they were getting mad. But but in all seriousness, the Starfield, closing out Starfield is just it's at the tip of the iceberg. It's
Mhm.
way more that it can be, and Bethesda's not giving up on it, which I stood up and applauded when they made the announcement and said, "Oh, there's more content coming. We're not going to stop." And I feel like
Mhm.
that's great. Hopefully, they put it on PlayStation and let the PlayStation players play it. I'm thinking that's the next big thing or the next big expansion. You know,
Hey,
so
guess who put out the Dishonored games?
what happened now, Senior? Go ahead.
Guess who put out the Dishonored games? My favorite series of games,
Who
Bethesda.
that?
Bethesda.
Oh yeah. Bethesda. Yeah, that's them. That's like a different branch. If I'm not mistaken, Dishonored was made by it was Bethesda
It
as a
was
developer,
Arcane
but
Studios, but it was
Arcane
but yeah,
Studios. Yep, Arcane
it was
Studios.
published by Bethesda.
Same thing with
Yeah.
Doom. That's Bethesda
Mhm.
too, but that's Doom is if I'm not mistaken, that's I forgot what
Machine
what
games.
the actual machine games. Yep,
Yeah.
Mm,
yep.
yeah.
But no,
So
go ahead, Slim.
basically kind of like what I was going with this too is really Black said it. He's not knocking it because it sounds like it's a really good game. And from Chris's description of it, and like I said, I've wanted to play it, and I just couldn't get into it at the time. I'm gonna go ahead and put my effort to now to get into it. But from the little bit I played, it does have some very interesting aspects about it. I do remember, like Chris said, when you first start off, you have to start building your ship and repairing your ship and everything. So I'm anxious to see how that works out and how to get that going, because that's going to be interesting. One thing I liked about Starfield is working on my ship and putting the ship together, but it was very frustrating. That was really frustrating, by the
Mhm.
way. Just trying to make sure the ship was
Oh,
balanced and all that stuff. Starfield is really detailed in when it comes to shipbuilding. So, like,
That's what I
oh
mean.
man.
And
I was about to say, yeah,
let me
so
go. Let me go ahead and add that shipbuilding wasn't added to No Man's Sky until Starfield came out. I
mhm.
just wanted to throw that out there.
Word.
but I was
Go
about to
ahead,
say, yeah,
Chris.
the crafting element though, when you first start like No Man's Sky
Hmm.
is yeah, that you gotta kinda have patience for that. And that's
No.
probably another reason why I kinda because I was kinda ready to get a little further into the action at first than I was about the, going around and harvesting ore and then figuring out what you had to combine in order to get certain machines to work, and
Well,
there's ways of
honestly,
bypassing that now, but when I first started playing it, yeah, you had to grind in order to actually matter of fact,
and
the
actually, I
first
think
time I
that's what got
died
me
was because
stopped.
I didn't realize that I had to go find oxygen first, or I could have just gotten the ship and then waited for this daggone storm to pass. But yeah, I died the first time just because I didn't realize what I had to do as far as outside the ship. But that was part of it.
Yeah. I think that was part of the reason why I didn't stick with No Man's Sky is because of how hard it was to start off, and I think getting the oxygen was a big part of it, and then getting all the ore and stuff like that. But on Starfield, it's like it's similar. You still have to grind, you still have to get ore and stuff like that. You don't have to get oxygen because excuse me, because you have like you do have your suit, and your suit, you do have to have oxygen in your suit and all that other stuff like that, but it's much easier in Starfield than it seemed like it was for me for No Man's Sky. And I'm sure No Man's Sky has changed since the time I played it, but it was so frustrating at the time when I started it out, and I think since then I've had more time and patience to play, and I've actually played Starfield, so I think I'll have more time and patience to play this one. Patience, I don't know about time because again, if I had time, I would have played it more already. So, uh, but really quick because we're coming close to time. Um, we just rolled and went into it. We went deep. Really quick, starting with Chris. Really quick, Chris. What's your favorite part of No Man's Sky right now? Period. What's your favorite part?
The exploration, just being able
Exploration.
to go to the different places and see because I've seen some pretty impressive things in there, and even like when I realized, yeah, you could actually get attacked for destroying the ecosystems, and going a little bit too overboard in
Mhm.
certain areas. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, like I said, I like to explore anyway, but it's almost like there's almost too much to explore in No Man's Sky. But I still love it though. I mean, like I said, the VR experience for especially with like I said, a gadget head like me, loves that aspect of it.
Yeah, got you. Okay, Black. What about you, man? What is your favorite part of Starfield?
Yeah, well, I would have to say I would have to say the shipbuilding, because it's so detailed. I actually got when I first started building ships, I was very very frustrated because I'm like, why won't it? I've got the perfect ship, but it still will not let me, complete the ship. Is where and it was real frustrating at first until I started learning. And
Uh,
once I understood how to do it, it was real. It just it was awesome. And of course the mods.
Mhm.
The mods are sick. Watchtower is the best mod I've ever played as far as the Bethesda mod. Oh,
Mm.
it's a really, really, really good mod. It's so much you could do with the sky drops, and you could drop bots, turrets, all types of stuff to take over. It's just it's off the chain. So I'm just looking forward to more mods and more DLC. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I I will give my take once I play No Man's Sky some more on that. But for Starfield, I think one of my favorite things about playing that game that I can remember, it has been a while since I played it. I think it's been almost a year, if not a year already, that since I stopped playing it. Um, but one of my favorite things was the customization of your ships and just
yes,
general overall things. But like the little other little aspects of the story, how they had a whole bunch of different little offshoots, like how they had the Mantis story, and they
yes,
had the story where you actually find out, you go and you find out that one planet where you find out where those I can't think of what those things are called, with those the things that attack you the most. You find out that planet is where they came from because it was like the United Planets who actually created them for the most part. You know what I'm talking about, Black?
oh yeah, you talk about the Terramorphs.
Yeah, yeah, Terramorphs. There you go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they created the Terramorphs, and oh, if that's a spoiler, I'm so sorry. It's been out for 2 years. Um, so
No, no.
yeah, but trust me, by the time if you start playing it, Chris, by the time you start playing it, you won't remember that until you come to it, and you be like, oh, this is what he talked about. But
I'm
yeah,
not gonna remember this tomorrow.
yeah, there you go. But just those different little offshoots of the stories. And I really when I played, I really wanted to build a massive ship,
Mm,
but I didn't put enough time and work in. I crossed the Unity and then I started over, and I have the Unity ship and all that. And if I start again, I don't know if I have to start over again because I can't remember if my game save if got deleted or not. But if I start again, I would start over and do it again, and I would get that ship that I want, that massive ship. But I would have to actually figure it out. But like I said, it actually it's such a really good game, and I'm anxious, not anxious. I'm looking forward to playing No Man's Sky some, just to kind of see how it compares to Starfield.
well,
So,
actually, they have modes where you don't have to grind anymore. You can just you can just grab ships and jump in now. So
mhm. Yeah, but
it's
I
just a
kinda
matter
wanna
of
I
if you
kinda wanna
want to
go with the
grind.
experience of picking up stuff though too. I kinda
Mm.
wanna do that, the experience, so we'll see. We'll see how that comes out. So, but either way,
Because to
we're
me,
gonna go
the
ahead.
the grinding was a little bit fun.
Yeah, and that's why, because it was on Starfield as well too, to a point, and Starfield, it kind of got on my nerves a little bit, certain parts of it. So that's kind of why I haven't gone back and played, because there were certain times where you're looking for certain elements and you don't have it and you need it, and then you got to go and figure out a way to either get the money or get the elements, like steal it or whatever, so you can get the elements to do whatever you need to do to build something, and that
Mm.
part irritated me, not knowing so much. So, uh, either way, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. And one thing about it, like I said, I will be back, and I will probably go ahead and either go live or I'll just do a video episode. But I will be back talking about No Man's Sky soon. So come back for that. Listen for that. Also, we have our season finale coming up. I just talked to the fellas earlier before we started, and we're gonna try and jump on this game, this scary game, because it's our spooky season finale. So, or is it the season? Is the season finale? Yeah, the season finale is usually the spooky season finale. It's not the opener. So either way, our spooky season is coming up. We're about to play the game that I talked about before. We're gonna play Dead by Daylight. I've convinced the fellas to play with me, and I might actually jump into a game with my daughter and her friend, because they're actually very experienced with playing it, and they know they can actually either play so they can actually help us, or they can play the killers, or one of us will play the killers. It's a wild game, especially for the spooky season. So it's gonna be really fun, and I can't wait. Um, so, but Black, you got anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Oh no, no, I have nothing to say. But Keep tuning in. Real excited about the podcast. We appreciate those who are listening. For those who are not, give us a try. You know, give us any feedback towards the content, and and keep on gaming and enjoying life. That's what it's about. You know,
Word,
and
word.
go Starfield.
There you go. There you go. Chris, you got anything you want to say before we sign off?
Nah, that's about it. Enjoyed myself as always. Shoot, can't wait to get into a little gaming and whatnot soon. Although,
Word.
yeah, matter of fact, I actually paused the game of Blueprints when the show started. So,
The
yeah,
game still paused?
yeah.
Nice. That's dope. Yeah, I haven't been able to fire up my Xbox except for on the weekends. Sometimes on Friday, and sometimes on Saturday or a Sunday. But I haven't been able to play that often, so I'm looking forward to actually getting some more time into play. But spooky season, so I'm about to actually do my setup soon. So I got my chair and stuff I'm working on. So that's gonna be fun. As a matter of fact, look out for that on my TikTok. Speaking of my TikTok, um, if you want to reach out to us at all, you can email us at toldmywifepodcast@gmail.com. You can actually follow us on Instagram at toldmywifepodcast. You can follow us on Facebook. I told my wife I'm paying bills. That's our page that's there. Just look us up. You'll be able to find us. Or actually, I have a link tree. So if you go to our Instagram, you can actually see the link tree on there to find other ways to follow us. And on the link tree, it has other ways you can listen to us. So uh, if you have Apple Podcasts, if you have Spotify, if you hear my voice right now, just leave us a review. Leave us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. It helps us out a lot more. It actually can get us to more ears. So having more reviews in there, it kind of like it puts us out in front of more people. So like I said, you can actually subscribe to our YouTube page at I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills podcast. You can find me on TikTok, like I was saying, at Slim Taurus 78. You can actually follow our podcast TikTok at Told My Wife Podcast. I put podcast clips up there, and I'll probably kind of clip out some of our gaming if I can. I'll see if I can get some gaming clips and everything like that with us gaming. If we get that going, Dead by Daylight going, yeah, I'll make sure. Matter of fact, fellas, if y'all are playing on the Xbox and we're doing that, and you got a Google clip, make sure you hit that button so you can actually clip it out. All right. um, but if you follow us on TikTok, give us a shout, say hello. Either TikTok, on my TikTok, I post Halloween content. So you're going to see my new setup. I've posted a couple different things where I've created some jars with some ears and stuff in it. And it's actually really cool jars. If you see that, definitely like and follow and all that. So until then, I'm Slim.
And I am Black.
And I'm Chris.
And whether you're button binging or button mashing, we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.